understand about 10% of you are from outside the Philippines, so I want to wish you and extend you a warm welcome to Manila and also to the Philippines. Please enjoy the city here. The location is fantastic. It's world-class. Fort Bonifacio that surround this area. It's a safe area to walk around and explore in the evening after the official itinerary, etc. as well. So feel free to do that. There's a pedestrianized street that walks all the way up the spine. I've lived here for 3.5 years. I live in this part of town. I work here, I live here, my children are here, so it's a very nice place. So please enjoy that. And then obviously for our Filipino audience as well, question to you, what do you see here? You can talk to your neighbor, okay, because I can't hear you, okay? Actually, this is Manila. It's more old Manila. This is Manila Bay, etc. up here. But also what you can see is, you can see opportunity. And especially here in the Philippines, there's a lot of opportunity that's being realized right now. Some may or may not know, but Philippines is the fastest growing economy in Asia, including China, in Q1. GDP 6.9%. So, you know, there's a good momentum going through there. About 3 weeks ago, I was at a conference, the International Digital Strategies Conference, held here in Manila also. This is Yusek Louis Casambre. This was on the 8th of June. And he was just announcing what the functions of the new DICT, which was created on the 9th of June. Now, obviously, many of us, we're all in the industry. Actually having a DICT is a big step forward for us. And what were the main things in the message? I won't go through all of them, but one of them was if you like, the telecommunication side needs to be improved, needs to accelerate, but also the things like big data, data sets, IT for all. The statistic about the highest usage on notebooks and desktop is a great one, but the sad statistic is we also have one of the lowest PC ownerships. So there might be a high usage, but it's only 30-odd% that actually own a PC in this country. So what does that mean? That also means there's massive potential. We also have here on the right in the same, we had the ITU here. We have, those of you who don't know, outside of Philippines, ADB is based here as well. So there's a whole formation of momentum about how we can realize the potential here in the Philippines. And then many of you will have been following the saga stroke update on the telecommunication side. So obviously there was the spectrum sale across to PLDT and to Globe, splitting it 50-50. But this was actually posted also, which was important here, about now finally we've got the IP gateway sharing, which obviously will improve our user experience, etc. within the country. So these are all good step forwards. Me personally here, when I first came, it was 3 megabit, then it was 5 megabit, and now I'm pleased to say I'm on 100 megabit. Okay, so, but the challenge is that this is just in this area. There are still across national coverage that we need to improve, and the government, DOST with One Connect, etc., is going into those barangays, the 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we still need to improve the coverage, but you can definitely feel the changes happening in the telecommunications. So that's a good thing. And then finally, I was at an event last week where also the members of the Philippine Semiconductor and Electronics Society, so PSIDE, and they held an audience. Basically, we've got Director General De Lima here from PESA, but if you imagine I was presenting at this, and this room, not quite this audience, but maybe about 500, are all manufacturers and industry saying, I want to start IoT. Tell me how I can start it. So the opportunity is there, the end customers are there and looking for it, and we really have a good opportunity now to actually deploy IoT. And what I would say is, there does feel like there's an alignment happening now of some of the key structural elements as well to help us to actually accelerate that. And in working closely with Dell, that's something that we can absolutely do achieving here in the Philippines. On a personal note, when I moved to Asia, I was previously based in South Africa, and I moved to Asia in 2004. I was actually a regional marketing development manager for Dell for APJ. I know there's some friends from Thailand here as well, in Indochina around. So I got a glimpse then at how closely from a worldwide level Intel's team in Austin works closely with Dell, right down to regional, right down into country. And obviously working very closely with Chris and the whole Dell team here in the Philippines to realize the potential. Okay, so big data, we've all been talking about it, and IoT. People say Internet of Things, people say Internet of Everything. The key things here is you've seen the alignments happening. So you see this, by 2020, 50 billion devices. Right now, though, the devices aren't really connected. About 85% are not connected. But costs of things like sensors, etc., are really coming down in price. Intel's also driving in those Curie chips and other areas to really drive down and put that cost down. That creates data, and that's where obviously we can link it into the smart gateways, and we'll talk a minute about the software-defined networks and all that area where it's really dynamically able to expand and contract performance based on need, which is really the new business model. And then we hook into the networks and then into the cloud. And again, we're working closely here with Dell around Hadoop, and then in the back end, obviously, on the data centers. So there's a big opportunity for everybody, whether you be an end customer or whether you be a reseller. And the thing is, it is happening right now. So there's a lot of, this is 2018 forecast in terms of network infrastructure, CapEx expenditure. This is the new, you can see the NFV, so the network function virtualization that's really driving the business and the dynamic change that's happening right now into cloud infrastructure. And the new internet servers are your Ubers and your other business models. Lazada, by the way, about a month or so ago, celebrated 4 years here in the Philippines. They now employ over 2,000 employees in Lazada. Lazada is basically a distribution company, out of their own words, in terms of their warehouse distribution. Obviously, they've just been taken over by Alibaba, but they're based here in the fort also. So, you know, there's a lot of opportunities growing. In terms of Intel on a worldwide level, together with Dell, we have obviously from the blue chip companies across from BMW, GE, Honeywell, even precision farming with John Deere tracking the tractor. I think another key message that was given was you make the choice in terms of what type of cloud that you want to go for. So obviously private cloud is the one that is most prevalent. And a good point was made by the previous speaker is it's important that if you stay with a standards-based solution, which is open, you can make that choice to move between public, private, hybrid, as and when your business case warrants different types of model. Okay, so it's very important to go for that open standards-based. Don't get niched. So this is basically the architecture. I think in the past, we would have had pictures of hardware here. But actually, as you can see now, the reality is, and again, I thank the endorsement from previous speaker about with the x86 architecture, really, all the hardware becomes software defined. So you can have your caching servers, your other types of routers, your other types of capabilities required, basically on top of the x86 architecture, working with Dell, in terms of defining it from a software. So actually the focus goes to the top. And the top is really where, what is it that you need? What are the solutions that you need? And actually, if I was going to rewrite this slide, obviously after that is the customer. So it's really the customer, and you're choosing which applications. And from those applications, the rest of the supporting infrastructure basically is now being orientated to support it, whereas in the past it was a little bit inverted from that. The other important thing about this new model is that the capacity can virtually expand and contract based on demand. That's either in the public or the private cloud. So that's something that's very important. I met in another conference, actually in this hotel about 2 weeks ago, from Google, back-end from Google. They're based here also, by the way, APJ. I said, how many employees do you have? They said, oh, a bit shy to say, but they're about 300. But he says, based on demand, we can go up to 3,200. So again, that's that model, both on the software and network infrastructure, but obviously here we have BPO as well. So we also have staff that can contract and go up. This is really the new model, demand-based. So what I wanted to do was just to share a couple of things. I'm going to play a short video now. But please try and avoid things like getting niched into proprietary gateways. So you'll see together Intel and Dell, we offer open standard gateways. Please also avoid things like proprietary networks and getting into, you'll see when we do the case study video, black data or data that's niched and you can't share. This is also something that's important for the new DICT office as well, to make sure that across their departments, data can be shared as well. But within your company as well, make sure that your data can be shared and not niched, and also avoid silos. So again, that's something that's important when you're mapping out your framework for going forward. So putting that into a schematic, what you can see here is that we have the sensors available. The prices are really coming down in that area as well. And then we have now, together with Dell, the Dell Edge IoT Gateway. You notice the MOQ is 1 unit. Okay, so again, that's good. So, you know, please have a consideration about that, even to start with a POC within a particular area of prioritization. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then we go into the cloud area again, Dell-powered Intel-based servers with cloud data, et cetera, for the data analytics and driving through on the actions. So it's really an end-to-end type of partnership that we can do together. And these are some of the case studies. I'll draw your eye to the Intel one, because I think, you know, we are also doing it. IoT is important. We're a manufacturer. We have plants. We need to optimize. IoT is important for us as well. So we actually work together with Dell, and we also optimized in Penang, our factory, lineup, et cetera, on some machines, et cetera, around various predictive mechanisms on ball bearing usage and other wearings. It really is individual to each, but there are so many use cases as well that we'd be happy, Dell and Intel, to share together and absolutely go out and do this together. This is actually the call to action. Really about, you know, have a think about, you know, do you have a big data strategy? You can see the new chief data officer type role coming more and more in place. How will you derive value from your data? And what barriers is holding you back? I would definitely see here this IoT is for everybody. It's not the smart cities just in Singapore and South Korea and these modern cities. You're actually in a very smart city right now in terms of BGC and Clark and other places. But the important thing even is like in Cebu, for example, the 2050 Cebu plan is to prioritize short, medium, and long term what you want to achieve. What's the key issues you want to tackle? And then just take them sequentially. But the important thing is to identify and work with a partner who is open so that you can build on and share data as you go on and start to build that out. So again, what I'd say is think about what the possibilities are. If you haven't started an IoT deployment, take that first step. You saw the POC, the MOQ is 1 unit, Smart Hub. Another one, I would invite you to go to our booth at the back there, Huawei, Charles and team. What they've put together is basically something that we all use, is basically we need to project something, so workplace transformation. And we all carry our different dongles around with us, and we, connecting that to the projector can be very cumbersome. So Dell and Intel, we have the Dell Optiplex 740. It's a mini PC. It's showcased out there as well. Basically, you connect by Wi-Fi. You can have up multiple screens at once, both locally in the conference room as well as across the network. You get a 6-digit pin. So again, that's just something. It's just another tool that's being used to help provide that going forward. Again, developed with Intel. And then if you're already on that adoption curve, let's map out together with Dell and Intel, how we can keep accelerating that forward. Okay? Anyway, I wish you a happy conference. On Intel's behalf, I would just like to thank you also for your support and business. And let's realize the opportunity here in the Philippines. Thank you very much.